Welcome to Unit 1 on the science of organizational behavior. In this section, we'll explore how the field of organizational behavior has evolved over time. What began as relatively simplistic and mechanical approaches focused primarily on efficiency has transformed into a rich understanding of human psychology in the workplace. We'll examine three key stages in this evolution: early management theories, the human relations movement, and the behavioral science approach. Each stage has made significant contributions to our understanding of organizational behavior today. The late 19th and early 20th centuries marked the beginning of formal management theories. During this period, the focus was primarily on increasing efficiency and improving organizational output. Organizations were viewed essentially as machines, with employees treated as interchangeable parts of that system rather than as individuals with unique needs and motivations. While these early theories overlooked human factors, they did establish the groundwork for a more systematic study of how organizations function and how they could be improved. Frederick Winslow Taylor's scientific management theory was one of the most influential early approaches. Taylor, a mechanical engineer, applied scientific methods to work processes with the goal of maximizing productivity. His approach involved breaking tasks down into simple, repetitive elements and implementing standardized procedures. Workers were closely supervised and incentivized to follow these procedures exactly. While Taylor's methods led to significant productivity gains in manufacturing, they largely ignored the human aspect of work. Employees were viewed not as individuals with personal motivations, but as tools to be optimized for efficiency. Around the same time, French industrialist Henri Fayol developed his administrative management theory. Unlike Taylor, who focused on worker efficiency, Fayol concentrated on managerial functions. He identified 5 key management activities: planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. Fayol also outlined 14 principles of management that he believed could be universally applied, such as division of work, authority, and discipline. While more systematic than earlier approaches, Fayol's theory still prioritized organizational structure and efficiency over psychological needs of workers. German sociologist Max Weber contributed to management theory with his bureaucratic management approach. Weber advocated for creating rational and efficient organizations through well-defined hierarchical structures. His model emphasized clearly established rules, procedures, and roles to reduce ambiguity and ensure consistent operations. Authority in Weber's system was based on formal rules and expertise rather than personal relationships. While effective at establishing order, bureaucratic organizations often became rigid and impersonal, leaving little flexibility or consideration for human needs and creativity. By the 1930s, limitations of the early management theories became increasingly apparent. The human relations movement emerged as a response, shifting focus toward the importance of social factors, communication, and employee well-being. This movement represented a significant departure from previous approaches by recognizing that organizational success depended not just on efficiency and structure, but also on addressing human needs in the workplace. This was a crucial evolution that began to bridge the gap between organizational goals and human psychology. A pivotal moment in the human relations movement was the series of experiments conducted at the Wester Electric Company's Hawthorne plant during the 1920s and 1930s. Initially designed to study how lighting conditions affected worker productivity, researchers made a surprising discovery. Regardless of whether lighting was improved or diminished, productivity increased. This phenomenon, later called the Hawthorne effect, revealed that workers responded positively to the attention they received during the study. This suggested that psychological and social factors, feeling observed, valued, and part of something important, significantly influenced worker performance beyond just physical working conditions. Elton Mayo, a key figure in interpreting the Hawthorne studies, helped shape the human relations movement. Mayo argued that social and emotional needs of workers were as important as physical working conditions, if not more so. His research demonstrated that when employees felt valued by management and connected to their colleagues, both job satisfaction and productivity improved. While the human relations movement was revolutionary in recognizing human factors, it still relied on generalizations about worker behavior and didn't fully account for individual differences in motivation and needs. By the 1950s, organizational theory evolved further with the behavioral science approach. This perspective integrated insights from psychology, sociology, and other behavioral sciences to develop a more nuanced understanding of organizational behavior. Rather than simply observing behaviors, this approach sought to understand the underlying psychological processes driving individuals within organizations. The behavioral science approach brought scientific rigor to the study of human behavior in the workplace, examining not just what people did, but why they did it. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs became foundational to the behavioral science approach. Maslow proposed that human needs exist in a hierarchical structure, physiological needs at the base, followed by safety, social belonging, esteem, and finally self-actualization at the top. According to this theory, individuals must satisfy lower-level needs before they can focus on higher ones. This framework revolutionized how organizations thought about motivation, suggesting that while financial rewards satisfy basic needs, true engagement requires addressing higher-level needs like recognition, growth opportunities, and meaningful work that allows for self-fulfillment. In the 1960s, Douglas McGregor introduced his Theory X and Theory Y, which presented two contrasting sets of assumptions about human nature in the workplace. Theory X assumes employees are inherently lazy, dislike work, and require close supervision and control. Theory Y, in contrast, assumes employees are self-motivated, enjoy work, and seek opportunities for growth and responsibility. McGregor's framework challenged traditional management assumptions and provided the foundation for more participative and democratic leadership styles. These theories highlighted how managers' fundamental beliefs about human nature dramatically influenced their approach to leadership. Frederick Herzberg's two-factor theory, developed in the 1950s, further refined our understanding of workplace motivation. Herzberg identified two distinct types of factors affecting job satisfaction: hygiene factors and motivators. Hygiene factors, such as salary, working conditions, and company policies, don't create satisfaction but prevent dissatisfaction when adequately addressed. Motivators, including achievement, recognition, and personal growth, are what truly drive engagement and satisfaction. This theory underscored that organizations must focus on both addressing basic needs and providing opportunities for meaningful achievement and growth. Looking at the historical evolution of organizational behavior, we can see a clear progression from mechanistic models focused solely on efficiency to approaches that recognize the complexity of human psychology. Each phase has contributed valuable insights. Early management theories provided structure and systems, the human relations movement highlighted social factors, and the behavioral science approach integrated psychological understanding. Today's organizational behavior theory continues to evolve, balancing the need for organizational effectiveness with employee satisfaction and well-being. This evolution reflects our deepening understanding that organizations are not just systems, but communities of individuals with complex needs and motivations.